Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in tonight's main event, apparently Santa Claus has received Eric Bischoff's letter, and the Great Khali has a non-title matchup against the World Heavyweight Champion, American Supreme Matt Clark.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's Rage main event is a non-title match scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, along with manager Eric Bischoff, from the Punjab in India weighing 460 pounds, the Great Khali.
Eric Bischoff sees it as an opportunity. Oh, it's a big shot, a non-title against the World Heavyweight Champion. It'll mean something big for the Great Khali. I said, sure, go ahead. Do whatever you want.
You're not allowed to laugh off the Great Khali Myron.
The hell I'm not.
Not cool. That's a former World Heavyweight Champion you tossin' shade at. And what if he beats Matt Clark? Then you're gonna have to take him seriously when he comes looking for that title shot as a former World Heavyweight Champion Myron.
Right, Christy, of course.
His opponent joined at ringside by Gabor from Smithfield, North Carolina, one half of the RWO Television Tag Team Champions, and the RWO World Heavyweight Champion, American Supreme, Matt Clark.
And how about this fellow's story? Came back for an attempted resurgence, it didn't work out. He tried to become general manager of Snarl, and unfortunately that didn't work out. That went to Hangman Tex Lynch. And finally, Matt Clark settled on what he wanted to do, came back, and look at him now, a dual champion once again. And once more, with the love and popularity of RWO fans.
And big props to Gabor. She took a beating tonight in the 4-way elimination. But a quick change of clothes, a little makeup, and here she is standing with her man. Trooper to the end.
I kind of really feel bad for Crystal. She really wanted to face Liberty Bell Danielle for the Snarl Women's Championship.
Well, turning our attention back to the match at hand, Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote notwithstanding, American Supreme Matt Clark in this non-title against the Great Khali. For those of you that might be snickering, it must be noted the Great Khali is a former World Heavyweight Champion. Willie Johnson sounds the bell. Matt Clark charges into a clothesline from the Great Khali. Down he goes. Matt Clark rounded back up again by the Great Khali. Front cradle. Slammed into the turnbuckle. Spun out towards center ring. The Punjabi Nightmare going immediately to work on American Supreme here. Matt Clark counters with a kick. Gets to a standing position. Delivers a kick to the head of the Great Khali. Misses with the stomp. The Great Khali catches a kick to the midsection. A series of rights from American Supreme, a double shot to the midsection of Khali, a chop across the chest, draped over the middle rope, Clark yanking for all he's worth. A drop toe hold, and into a leg submission here for the Great Khali. Matt Clark turning things around pretty quickly, but the Great Khali escapes the submission, back up to a standing position here and takes Clark down again with the clothesline. Matt Clark using the ropes to stand himself up in the far corner. Khali with a chop across the chest. And now a blatant choke from the Punjabi Nightmare on American Supreme. Clark counters with a kick, gets out of the corner. Drop kick takes the Great Khali down center ring. Clark covers. One. Only a one. The Great Khali kicking out Crystal Gabor. Trooper that she is. After that matchup. Still at ringside here. Here's a cover from Khali, but only a one. Crystal Gabor still supporting her fella here. American Supreme counters the Great Khali. Rounds up the Punjabi Nightmare, snaps the arm, and parlays that into an armbar. Eric Bischoff hasn't started cheating yet, but I'm sure he will. A stomp to the back of the Great Khali from American Supreme. And now stretching the arm again. Perhaps working towards the submission down the road. The Great Khali with a kick to the chest. Gets a hold of Clark. Whips him to the far corner. An elbow to the face. And down sinks Matt Clark into a seated position. Back up out of the corner. Charges. Misses with the clothesline. The Khali gets a hold of Matt Clark. Whips him to the ropes. Has him up. Spine buster. And what a spinebuster from the great Khali. Matt Clark counters with a shot to the midsection. Eric Bischoff has introduced a chair into the ring here. Willie Johnson's going to get rid of that. Matt Clark with a hold on the great Khali. Here's a small package. Look at this. Willie Johnson not expecting it. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, Matt Clark wins this one over the great Khali by pinfall. Wow.
Here's the time, 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Here's your winner, American Supreme, Matt Clark.
And so with the aid of an elementary roll-up pin, American Supreme Matt Clark wraps it up on the great Khali.
I know Eric Bischoff is too mad. 2 minutes and 37 seconds. I'm going to be laughing about this one today.
Well, fans, that concludes this week's edition of RWL Rage. As always, we thank all of you for spending some of your time with us and for supporting RWL. If you haven't, we urge you to subscribe, like, share, and comment. We appreciate all of it. We remind you to stay tuned because immediately following this edition of RWL Rage will be RWL Ladies Night with me and Hangman Tex Lynch. For all of us here at RWL Rage, I've been Don Hickson. We'll see you next time at ringside. Good night, everybody.